So I got a question from one of you about it would take to implement plasma laundry in a hospital and what it would look like. Let's chat about it. Hello, my name is Greg Friedman. I'm a PhD bioengineer focused on plasma, on applications of electric discharges in various fields, and that's what I chat on this channel about. So let's look at the question. The was question on the video, can plasma replace laundry? A more fleshed out concept of how this would fit into a hospital environment and its benefits would be really interesting. All right, let's think about this together. So my suggestion was to add plasma treatment into the dryer cycle, specifically right before drying. So let me tell you what I would envision the system to look like, and then tell you a little COVID story of how we tried the machine that we built for something like this. So where this would be beneficial. Plasma treatment, as I mentioned in the previous video, isn't really going to do anything to the dirt, but plasma would be effective against any kind of alive matter, bacteria, spores, mold spores, bacterial spores, fungus, C. diff, MRSA, Acinetobacter, that kind of stuff, COVID, viruses, whatever. Plasma can pretty well get rid of most of those. So we would implement this in the dryer. So we would probably have to come in and replace all the dryers. Not that difficult. Dryer machines are fairly simple, so modifying it to add plasma shouldn't be a challenge, so let's assume that that's doable. What that would look like, how it would fit into a hospital environment is the first part of your question. Easily. I don't think hospital personnel would even notice. Just their clothing after wash or the bed sheets will be sterile. What benefits? Everything would be sterile. So think of a hospital, nursing home, any kind of environment where you wash clothing, bed sheets, I don't know, carpet, drapes, whatever you wash in the laundry. Now you gain ability to not just clean it, but also ensure that the viral and bacterial loads are significantly reduced or even completely eliminated. So benefits are pretty tremendous. Why isn't this implemented? I don't know, but I would imagine it's pretty heavy regulatory hurdles. Look at the claims I'm making. Your hospital will be much safer. I would need to prove that to the Food and Drug Administration, Center for Disease Control, and probably Food and Drug Administration because clothing touches your skin. So it would be regulatorily a challenge. I haven't really deeply looked into this. In food processing, there is something called hurdle technologies. Like it's a technology that presents a hurdle for bacteria to get into the food. And hurdle technologies, sometimes you can get away with just putting a machine somewhere on your line that does something to improve the quality of your produce. And as long as USDA looks at the end product and it looks like an apple, it smells like an apple, it tastes like an apple, they don't care what kind of hurdles you used. They care, but as long as you don't modify anything. So maybe if you can prove that the bed sheet is exactly the same when your process is completed, maybe you can get into it. Now, air plasmas do generate a bit of ozone, and I don't know what does FDA consider a laundry facility part of kind of patient environment? Now you're up against that ruling where you can't generate more than a few ppm of ozone inside of your machine, and that's going to be problematic for plasmas. So fitting this into a hospital environment, non-issue. Benefits, I would imagine they're pretty clear, right? Like, I have dog and a couple of cats, and they're always on the bed and the clothes. And if you can ensure that whatever viruses and crap they bring in from the street, I mean, literally, we let the dog run around and then he runs into the house and jumps in our bed. It would be nice to have that sterile, I would think. I don't see a plasma containing dryer on a consumer market. So there's got to be a reason. And the reason may be that consumers just don't care, because this would add cost to the machine. Let's say even if it adds $20. Do you care? It's a funny story. There is a company I worked with, and they implemented a way to completely destroy any kind of ethylene. It's a molecule that fruits and vegetables release when they're ripening, causing other fruits and vegetables to ripen. So if you remove that and remove all of the smells, bad smells and good smells, from refrigerator, people don't want it because they actually want their fridge to have a fridge smell. So anyway, the little story about our COVID-19 system. So during COVID-19, there was a shortage of masks, as most of you know, and we built this machine that literally in 20 minutes, you put your PPE, like your mask, your goggles, your face shield, even your gown, you put it in the machine, push a button. There is a 5 to 10 minute plasma cycle, and there is 10 to 15 minute after plasma cycle. So we called it, post-plasma drying, but really we use mild heat to destroy any residual ozone. And your mask comes out with a few log, 99% to 99.9 to 99.99% reduction in viral load. And it's just 20 minutes, and we designed the machine to be kind of a personal unit. So a nurse, right before he or she goes home, sticks all of their crap into this machine, pushes a button, gets dressed, 20 minutes, it's done, put it in a bag, ready for tomorrow. So that was a clever design, I think. But in the post-COVID world, we're having difficulty getting traction for it. I mean, if you have ideas, I'm happy to talk offline about them. Let's make a business, bring investors. But anyway, back to your question. How would it fit? Easy. What are the benefits? Tremendous. Why isn't it in every hospital and nursing home? I don't know. No idea. I'm not a marketing expert. So I hope it will be one day, and I'm here to help. Anyway, awesome question. Thanks for asking it. If you guys have any other questions, please post them in the comment section. Happy to chat about new things. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.